Some men have been using Regaine to grow their beard. Today I'm going to review the results before and after of some of these men, and after that I'm going to tell you some of the risks and some of the benefits of using Regaine to grow your beard. Keep watching. Regaine is a product for hair loss, men and women. I have reviewed it before. I left the link to that video in my description below. Have a look at that if it's your first time finding out about Regaine. But today we're going to look at before and after results of men who used Regaine to grow their beard or attempted to grow their beard. Because they weren't happy with their beard, because they want to look more macho, or because they just want more attention from the ladies. Okay, let's jump on my computer. I have some of these results. I've got about 3 or 4. Again, I can't guarantee these results are completely legitimate. I don't know, they might be legitimate, they might not be, but let's have a look anyway. And after that I'm going to tell you some of the risks and some of the benefits that you should be aware of before using Regaine to grow your beard. So let's have a look at our first candidate. So this young man has been using Regaine for 3 months on his beard, and he started with this. So his beard is quite thin, it's quite patchy. As you can see, he hasn't got much thickness across the cheeks. It's quite hard to tell because the angle of the photo is not the best. His moustache as well is quite, it looks quite thin and patchy as well. So let's fast forward. Oh, by the way, it's very difficult to tell from that photo if he shaved, a day ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So that would have been quite useful to know when he last shaved his beard, because then we could kind of gauge how fast or how slow his beard growth is, which would have been useful. But anyway, let's fast forward to 3 months of Regaine use on his beard. As you can see, the beard is looking much darker, much more filled. The moustache as well is looking quite dark and filled. But again, it's really hard to tell if this is the result of Regaine or if this is the result of him just not shaving his beard. It's very hard to tell. One clue might be that his natural hairline, where the beard hair starts and finishes, hasn't really moved much from the first photo. So maybe with or without Regaine, this is what he would have achieved had he not shaved. So I'm quite on the fence on this result. I don't think it actually shows definitively that Regaine has really made his beard hair grow thicker or kind of expand out. But anyway, that's my 2 pennies. Let's have a look at the same guy from a side-on view. This might give us more information. So as you can see on the left is the photo taken 3 months before starting Regaine. And it's the beard's looking patchy. Again, the fact that we don't know how long ago he shaved that beard is not really helpful. But anyway, let's move on to 3 months, and as you can see, the beard is looking a lot darker, a lot thicker. The patchiness is still there, especially on the side, just below his lower jaw. You can see there's an area of patchiness, and the hairline, the beard hairline, as I said before, hasn't really moved much. So we can't say the beard has actually started to grow further up the cheek, which would have been kind of a result to look out for. And again, it's not really helpful that we don't know how long ago he shaved, because then we could say, okay, the results are due to him not shaving, or are they due to Regaine? So there's always that doubt of what the results are due to, him not shaving or the Regaine, or maybe it's a mixture of both. It's very hard to tell. So let's look at our second candidate. So this chap has been using Regaine for 3 months, for 12 weeks. And as you can see, he provided 3 photos under 3 different lighting conditions, which is not really helpful. And one of the photos is in color, the other 2 are black and white. Again, that's not helpful. It makes making a decision quite difficult. But anyway, let's give it a go. So the first picture before he started using Regaine, it looks like he had a shave that morning. I'm just guessing. He just looks incredibly well shaven. Again, that's not really helpful. Maybe he should have indicated whether he shaved that morning or whether it's his normal growth levels. The second picture looks like he's got some growth going. He's got kind of a bit of fluff going. But then the third picture looks like he just kind of shaped up. He went to the barber and had a shape up. It's quite difficult to tell if there is any growth there, to be honest. It's very difficult. It just looks like he just let his beard grow for a few days and then went to the barber and had a shape up. But I might be wrong. I'm just going by the pictures, which are, as I said, quite difficult to judge. And moving on to our final candidate, and I think this is the most promising one. This is the one I think that actually shows something definitive. So this guy has been using Regaine for 1 year and 4 months. So he's been using Regaine for the longest of all of our 3 candidates. And he says he's been, in inverted commas, taking Regaine. I hope he's not been drinking it. Anyway, well, he wouldn't be alive if he was drinking it, so we can rule that out. So he said he's finished 9 bottles. So he's been very consistent, and as we can see, when he started, I mean, he's got virtually no beard. He's just got a few stalks on his chin, and he's just got a tiny bit underneath his chin, but that's about it. And more importantly, I can't really see any shave marks or that he's freshly shaven, which is good because we want to just start with complete natural look. And let's have a look at the side view. And as you can see with the side view, it just looks like this is his natural look. I can't really see any. There's a few red bumps there, so you might have had a bit of a shave a few days ago, but nothing too major. But anyway, let's fast forward to 1 year. Sorry, 1 year and 4 months of use. And as you can see, he's got some serious bush going there. The beard is looking thick. It's looking solid, as in no gaps and no patches where there's kind of no growth. Let's have a look at the side view. The side view is also looking good. He could do with a bit more filling further up the cheek, but I suppose maybe that will come with time. And a good clue that maybe Regaine is doing something here is that if you look at his moustache hasn't changed. His moustache is still really thin in comparison to his beard. Usually when both the moustache and the beard are thin, you could say, oh well, it's kind of hormonal and genetics, and because both of them are thin at the same time, are becoming thicker at the same time. But as you can see, where he's been using the Regaine on his beard is really thick, and where he's been using, not been using anything, as in his moustache, the hair is quite thin. So I think this really shows something. I'm really surprised, but it's pleasantly surprised that it's working for him, and good luck to him. So now we've seen the results, but that's not the end of it, because I think there are 3 things you need to consider before jumping in and using Regaine to grow your beard. The first one is Regaine as a product has been licensed for hair loss on the scalp. So you might think, what the heck does that mean? That basically means that the company that made Regaine, all their trials, or their experiments, or their safety tests, or their legal stuff, all that has been done with the sole purpose of investigating the effectiveness and safety of this product for the hair up here, not hair. So it's only licensed for hair on the scalp. If you go ahead and use it for the beard, and God forbid something goes wrong, and you say, you know what, I'm going to sue those guys who made this because it made my hair and my beard fall off and I've got blisters on my face and all. You go to the judge with that. The judge will take your case, he will squash it into a ball, and he will go for the nearest thrash bin and lob it there. You have no case because the product has been made for the hair on the scalp. You used it inappropriately, so the fault is with you. The second issue is an issue of cost. This product is not cheap. It's about $30 to $40 for a month's supply. So you have to kind of do your maths. If that's something you can afford, that's fine. But I suspect most people won't be able to justify spending $30 to $40 or 30 to 40 pounds English money on a product to grow their beard. Third issue is because no clinical trials have been done on how this product works on the beard. That means essentially you'll be doing your own experiments. So it might work, it might not. Clearly for some of the men that we've seen in our video earlier, it worked for them, but you might try it and it might not work at all because it's uncharted waters. And also bear in mind that the hair on your scalp and the hair on your beard are different. Similar in ways, but they are also quite different in other ways. So the hair on your scalp tends to be more straighter and finer and grows in clumps, but the hair on your beard tends to be kind of coarser and curlier, and the way they respond to hormones in your body is slightly different. So in terms of safety, if you have been using Regaine for your head, for the scalp, and you've had no problems, no reactions, no issues, it's very unlikely that if you use it for your beard, you're going to come up in blisters and things are going to go wrong. That's quite unlikely, but still you are not covered because you are going into uncharted waters. You are using the Regaine for a place that it was not meant to be used in, so that's another risk for you. So in conclusion, what do I think? I think using Regaine to grow your beard is a risk, it's a punt. It's like going on a blind date. It might work out beautifully, or you might end up jumping in a taxi after 5 minutes. No one knows. So it's up to you. You want to give it a go, give it a go. If you like the video, make sure you smash that subscribe button and don't forget to press the bell so that you get a notification every time I post a video. If you know anyone who might like this video, who might find some value in it, please share it with them. And I'll see you next time for another video. Take care. Have a good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Take care.